All right, people. Good Friday to you, Chris.
Welcome back.
Yep.
I missed you last week.
Yep. It was good. It was good. Take a little break. And what was I doing? I wasn't taking a break, but I was
Closet
doing something.
stuff probably at your house?
Yeah, something like that.
Or lighting at the house?
Yeah, I think we were doing the lights. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not coming.
Yeah.
So you're on your own. Shut it down or do it. I don't care. Just leave me out of it.
So did you watch it or listen to it?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No.
Somebody mentioned during the podcast, Matt's probably watching. He's like, no, I promise you, he's not. He's not watching.
No. Yeah, I've had to evolve a bit and not. I don't pay quite as much attention, so I spend a lot more time just throwing it up there and things into the ether, and then not have following up with it, which is a much smarter psychological way to deal with things and to create content and create videos and things like that. So I think I'm going to continue to do more of that. You can only do so much.
I think it's called post and ghost. That's what
Yeah.
the kids call it.
Yeah.
What you do.
Yep.
All right, so we're back. Although, let's see. See, I saw something on your calendar today. That must have been for somebody else, though. And go into
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I have no idea where that came from. It's like,
yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe that was Michelle.
I thought maybe she had a volleyball tournament or a basketball tournament or something.
I don't know. I think it was a basketball tournament that got canceled.
Ah, gotcha.
So anyway.
Let's see. What do you have there, by the way? This is the M15. No.
Yeah, the 15 millimeter Milwaukee polisher is here.
Okay.
It's
They're in stock.
Yeah, we have a whole pallet of them out there, and well, I'm sure we ship out the ones that
We sent out, I think,
pre-ordered?
18 yesterday, so we got 7 or 8 left.
Oh, okay, that's it. Shoot,
Mhm.
I didn't know I sold that many of them.
Yeah.
It's good. It's the only drawback to it. So it's tons of power. It does a great job. It's more balanced. I do now know why. Like this one, you don't have to hold the battery like the Flex. This one you can hold from the the normal neck, and it just makes more sense ergonomically. But there's a lot of vibration that comes through it that you just have to power through. After the first 5 minutes, your hands just kind of go numb, and you don't notice it anymore. So just keep that in mind when you get this. It doesn't have the balance of the Rupes of the Flex, but it has way more power. Like I would err on the side of saying this thing might have more power than a LHR 15, a plug-in Rupes. So it, I guess we can't have perfect right off the bat, but it's really, really good. And I would do the 15 millimeter version. I don't think you need the 21. It just depends on what you're looking for, but I prefer the 15 on a 5-inch pad. Unless you're doing a lot of large vehicles, I just think the 15 is the way to go.
I had a couple questions about this, actually. One from Ryan Edmonds. He stopped by here on Wednesday and visited. I think he's from Seattle area. He said, a suggestion question for the podcast. Does the new Milwaukee cordless DA require the high-output XC 6.0 batteries to get the necessary powder? What if I have some XC 5.0? Would I expect a reduced power to the tool or shorter battery life?
I'm certainly shorter battery life, but I have a 5.0 on here right now. It works fine. I don't detect any difference in torque and output. So I think the 5.0 is fine. Now, 6.0 batteries are going to run cooler and last longer and recharge better, but it's not necessary. You can run a 3.0 on it if you want. It just won't last as long.
All right, let's see. We had a couple more Milwaukee questions here that I wanted to get to. From Nate in the chat, if I wanted a Milwaukee setup for wheel removal, which impact driver setup do I need?
Yeah, 100% mid-torque. Yeah, you want the mid-torque. The high-torque ones you really don't need anymore. I hardly ever use them. We actually took the non-extended anvil high-torque out of the package. It's just not necessary. The old mid-torque wouldn't break loose without really racking on it. And so the new one has two times the output of the old one. So it's fantastic. So if you have one Milwaukee tool of anything, that's the one you want.
Let's see. Our buddy Philippe in Ontario, Canada says, hey, Matt, how are you liking the wheel and tire changer and balancer?
I couldn't live without it.
You're getting a lot of work done on it.
Yeah. I did Sean's wheels the other day. Yesterday I did the FIRs. I did the Tesla, or not the Tesla, the GT4 wheels from Signature. I did the RIDs. I'm not super pumped with either of the BBS wheels, so I'll probably sell those off and buy another color, try something different in the not too distant future. I did the TE37s here recently. I've got E88s I'm going to be doing. I did the stock wheels on the E92, the Interlagos car. So I mean, I've done dozens of wheels now, and I just couldn't imagine. I wouldn't be buying all these wheels if I didn't have those machines. It would just be so annoying to try to find somewhere and take it there and get them done. Just annoying. And then there's a shimmy or a shake because they didn't do it right, or there's a nick in the wheel. And so I've been able to control my own destiny here. It's really awesome.
Excellent, yeah. And now, see if OG ever goes sideways, you can always get a job at Discount Tire or one of those places.
Oh,
Good.
yeah. Yep.
Dylan says, hey, Matt and Chris. Matt, I'm glad to see you finally came out of the closet last week. We missed you last week. Chris did a great job running the show. Oh, thanks, Dylan.
Yeah, closets were on my brain. Actually, we were doing
Are they done now?
No, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
They're fantastic. So the guys are fully operational, ready to design them.
Okay.
There are only currently 2 colors in stock, and they're 2 different colors. And I bought out all the stuff they had. They're going to have 13 or 14 different colors coming up here, stock of it really soon. And we can put it together for you and design it. But we're ready to go. I want to do some cost videos to explain to people what it would cost to do each closet. So I'll be following up with that here shortly. And but yeah, they're amazing.
All right. M Cropper 03 says, any recommendation for coating a matte black rolling bed cover? Was thinking gliss, but wasn't sure about the matte finish.
Yeah, I mean, gliss would work. EXO would work. I actually like EXO better than gliss on trim for sure. So I would consider that. If you want some heavier dutiness to it, you could do deluxe gliss combo. But you're going to be using a lot of product to get that done. But I think it's the way to go.
Another quick coding question from MPSTI05. CSL XO, my vehicle, 1 year to the date.
Mm-hmm.
Daily driving it through the Chicagoland, I feel the hydrophobic traits are starting to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend full decon and polish and re-CSL XO, or and then I don't know.
Yeah, I would probably redo it. What you could do is you could just do a light perfect finish polishing if the finish is in really great shape. You don't have to do a heavy decon, and just throw another coat of XO, and you could buy another 8 months or so out of it, 10 months, 12 months out of it. But I would probably be inclined to just polish it off. Just a simple Cut Max microfiber cutting pad. It'll clean up all the other stuff. You don't maybe make 2-3 passes. And then finish it with perfect finish and then recoat. So if you're in really harsh environments like that, I mean, once a year is not a terrible thing to do.
Yeah, if you're outside in Chicago.
If you want your coating to really perform well and just be great, CSL XO is a mild coating. I would say, if you want to get a little bit more longevity, maybe do something like Seacorts UK and Gliss instead of that. But I just think I love the slickness of CSL XO, and I'd be willing to do it once a year, especially if it's my only car. Give me some time to go and get it all dialed in again.
Couple housing lighting questions for you here. Stent Placer says, driveway and lights look great. What is the brand of lights that you used?
So I privy you to this information on the video. So they're DMF DRD2s are the lights that we did. And so it's a retrofit kit. And so there's a 6-inch cover or whatever trim. And then there's the module. And then there's an Edison adapter. And so I've had some time, I've had them in there for a week now, been living with them. The great part about it, so there's not like this dramatic transformation from cheap, Home Depot grade Lithonia fixtures to these. There's not like this, oh my gosh, it's completely different like immediately. But having lived with it, going from 4K cheap to 3500 accurate, and just living with basically double the amount of light, it's so much less fatiguing to be in the room. It's like it's a little bit softer feeling. Sorry, I got something in my eyeball. But it's the question, of course, would be your options are going to be I think the two options that people would choose would be you do Cree fixtures, Cree CR6s, which are I haven't priced it yet, but I think they're going to be like $30 a piece. Or DMF, and DMF is $180 a piece, 180 and change to do a retrofit. So, is it 6 times better? Certainly not. Not even close to 6 times better, because the Cree stuff is a 90 CRI. But the question I ask myself, if I'm paying retail, Cree versus DMF, and the first round of stuff I bought from DMF, I didn't pay retail for, but and most houses aren't going to be as big as the one that I'm in, and aren't going to have as many lights recessed, even if it is as big or bigger. A lot of places that they chose to do lots of recessed fixtures in the sort of 96 fixtures. The question is, would I spend $180 a fixture? And after having lived with the Crees for many years, and now the DMF for just a short period of time, but a week plus, I'm going to spend the money. But it's not. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. It's not like change your life better. These are diminishing very quickly returns here. But it's having the metal trim ring looks a lot nicer. But how often do you look at the ceiling? I find myself looking at them often because of how attractive they are, and they look even better if you did it from scratch and did a new construction that did 4-inch, and you did 4-inch square. Would look really, really great. But the quality of light, it's transformed the feel of the house so much better.
And Toda says the DMF video is going to be live tomorrow. So for those of you who are asking, that'll be up there tomorrow. Another question, you answered one of Greg's questions here, but he had another one. The question was, do you use a different light temp in the closet?
I don't. I use 3500 throughout. Some people would put a different color temp in the laundry room. I did the same color temp in the laundry room. 3500, I think, is the magic formula everywhere.
Adam wants to know, is Meguiar's 101 or the Tornador in the OG store? If not, are you planning on carrying it?
Do we carry 101? I think we have 100, right?
Let's see.
I forget which one. I always confuse myself with which one I like better.
I thought it was 101.
I think it's, yeah. Did Tommy take it down because he was saying something about it being discontinued?
Oh, yeah, that might be the... At Meguiar's, we have the M39 and then the cutting pads.
That's not polish. 100, 101 are solvent-based, heavy cutting compounds designed for rotary that are really, really aggressive. I haven't had to pull it out in a long time. I've been using Cut Max instead. It's just so much cleaner. I did the M5 with M101 because the M5 was just brutal to polish. Couldn't get anything, scratches out of it. So, but I think it was M101 is the one that...
Yeah, we had M101.
Yeah, M101 is the one I prefer. 100 and 101 are very similar, but I forget what... I spent some time with both of them. I made the choice to carry 101, but I think that Meguiar's may have discontinued both of them because of they're pretty caustic.
Let's see. And Tornador, according to our guys in the chat here, is coming soon to the store. So I've been working on that for a little while.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I use it all the time, and just one of those things on the list that we need to get in the store. But yeah, the Tornador, both the vacuum attachment and the pad, the regular attachment.
Got a couple super chats coming up here, but first from Charlie, is Matt familiar with Macintosh home audio? And if so, what does he think of it?
Yeah, very, very familiar. I like it a lot. I've never had I've never been fortunate enough to own any of it, but I think it's great. There's certainly better performing equipment in that price range, but I just love the whole style of it. And Sumiko, who's the representative in the U.S. for them, are really, really great reps. They also rep Sonus Faber, and a couple other brands, Project. Turntables, but they're just great. It's a great equipment. I will have some of it someday for sure.
Super chat from Sweet Jazz, 2007, $5 US. Bending over on a chair to wash my wheels is a back killer for me. Do you have any solutions for a good knee pad instead?
You may want to look into. Ivan LaCroix swears by. There's this little knee pad rolly cart thingy that it basically has built-in knee pads, so you go onto your knees and you sit in like a knee crouched position, and you can roll yourself around on it. I forget what the brand is, but you might want to look into that. It's pretty comfortable. It's a little contraption-y feeling. It's a little weird. But it I think would be foot the bill of what you're looking to solve. I just can't remember the brand. So search like kneeling, rolling stool or something like that.
Somebody in the chat will tell us here.
Yeah.
Or you can just turn the Viper chair around.
Yeah, that's another thing you can do with this chair. Just you get the backrest and kind of lean your stomach into it, and it does feel a bit more comfortable. Kind of takes some of the pressure off your lower back.
Improved Garage has a super chat, $19.99 US. Excited to try the M18 Polisher when it arrives at my house. Really like the new Source Garage wheel stand as well. Posting a review later today. Also waiting on Cree and Sonic. Excited to see what you add next. Some good stuff coming to the store soon.
Yep.
So thanks, Source Garage. Or excuse me, Improved Garage. Kyle Donovan, $4.99 super chat. As a business and personal decision, what credit cards do you have / use and why?
I have a business and personal Amex Platinum, and then the other card that we use a lot is the Chase Inc. for business, which is attached to the business profile. So we do about 50-50, I'd say, something like that, 50% on each, because they're both douchebags about I always thought Amex had an unlimited balance.
No.
They increased us to 280, and so that frustrates the heck out of me is that Amex talked me into moving all of our transactions over to them, and then right after that, the pandemic happened, and they started freaking out and pulling all the money, and so then they capped us at 250 a month, which you can just pay. We just pay it periodically, but it's just annoying. Like I want to be able to charge whatever I want, but Amex Platinum is $500 a year. I don't know. It's probably a waste of money. You could do it for free, but I like having the platinum card. The rewards program is pretty great. There's all kinds of hacks you can do to use your reward points at different times to get a few extra 0.25% or extra back. The other card, I have the Apple card, which I use some and personally, and I have the a Merrill Lynch, my Merrill Lynch, card that I've had for 20 years, something like that. I just keep out of nostalgia. So I really only charge to the Merrill card. I just have some automatics that go there. The Apple card, I have a few automatics that go to there. And then the Amexes, and then the Chase Inc.
I don't know if you saw the email. Not the Amex lady emailed you asking. She noticed some of our bigger transactions had moved or hadn't been done in a while.
Freaking idiot. Yeah, I won't even call. They called me 6 times. I won't even entertain them.
It's a fun little game.
Yeah, cards. I have 5 cards. I wouldn't have that many, but we spend millions. Well over $10 million a year on credit cards, I think. So, around $10 million a year, both between personally and through the business. So, I have 5 cards because of that, but I wouldn't suggest that. For the longest time, most personally, I had the Merrill Lynch or the Merrill Lynch card, and like one other card, I think, and that was about it. I had like the Raymond James MasterCard or something like that when I would work for Raymond James. But so generally, I'd only had one card and then one backup card. Now I've got several of them. I think I still maintain the Raymond James card as like a $25,000 limit or something like that, but that just kind of sits in the closet, in my safe. So Apple card, the Amex, Platinum, personal. So those are the 2 personal, and Apple. So those are the 3 personal cards. And then on the business side, I have the old Raymond James business card. I have the Amex Platinum and Chase Inc. So I have 6 total cards.
Nick wants to know, when are we going to see some M2CS videos?
Quite a few coming out here. We shot the main video, and then I shot the intake install. I just did the wheel swap. So lots of stuff coming.
Ken wants to know, when are the Model 3 parts going up for sale, and how will you be selling them? Video, Instagram, website, etc.?
We'll try to sell them quickly on Instagram. Mike's going to work on that next week. Taking that thing apart. I'm going to sell the car. I'm going to sell the car for, I think, $70,000. It has 8,000 miles on, or something like 7,000 miles. So we'll put all completely back to stock. I'll probably leave spacers on it because it looks way better when you have spacers on the wheels. And then it has upgraded tires to a 245 instead of a 235. It looks way better. Maybe we'll probably leave the radar detector on or something maybe, but I'm going to take all the parts off, the suspension, the brakes, and put it completely back to stock, sell that stuff off, and then I'll probably leave the rear carbon fiber spoiler on, the little front canards. I'll probably leave those on, and then I'll try to sell it through the Obsessed Garage, marketplace. If I can't, then I'll put it on Auto Trader and get rid of it. I'm very likely going to be buying a house this coming week in the mountains, so I'm going to lighten my car load a little bit.
Wolfman wants to know, will you be making any point of view driving videos in the future?
No, I'm not really into that.
All right, Jerry V says, do you think Crinslow will ever come out with an upgraded K1322 that has a higher GPM output?
No. You're limited by how much power you can get out of the wall. It's maxed out. I mean, it already draws 18 amps, 17 and change with a foam cannon. So you can't reliably maintain that any higher.
Mike wants to know, which pads can you use with a Milwaukee polisher?
I mean, you need a 5-inch pad, so a 6-inch face, 5-inch backing plate size. Rupes, Lake Country, HDOs would be popular. You can, Chemical Guys, Hex Logic, you could use pretty much any of them. They're all set up now. The pads will work with, McGuire's pads as well. Will work with long throw machines now. In the beginning, you'd blow apart pads, but now they're all ready to go.
MX304 says, how was the Smokies trip? Maybe he's referring to the Smokies GT trip.
Yeah, I didn't go. No.
No, you're going in a couple weeks, though.
Well, I'm going on Wednesday, going to the mountains too.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a bunch of houses, and then we're going back up on the 19th for a week, 7 days.
Nigwin says, I just bought a 22 Yamaha R7 World GP Edition. Is that a bike? Sounds like a bike.
Yep.
What kind of ceramic coating should I use to protect it? I have some leftover Deluxe and Gliss. Yeah,
I mean, that would work. Especially since it's primarily plastics, it's probably a good choice. So that's probably what I would do.
All right, Martin, our friend from Sweden, says, hey, Matt, what is your detail routine to get dialed in exhaust tips? Clean, protect, maintain.
So to maintain them, I use P21S polishing soap. And then, occasionally if you have to do something more aggressive, get yourself like Mother's Metal Polish or something, off the shelf. That I have some Geon. It's not very good, but I have some Geon metal polish in the cabinet that I'll grab if I need to. But generally, if you do the Polish Angel thing, you're good to go. And then I treat it with the Dr. Beasley's metal coat. So put the metal coat on there, and that's a high temp sort of coating, which will help keep it looking nice. And then just do the polishing soap once every quarter or once every 6 months or so, and you're good to go.
Let's see. Toda says your 101 was all dried up. They tossed it after doing the headlight polish.
Yeah.
I guess it had gotten gross. K-Series Joe says, is Angel Wax your favorite glass cleaner?
For like aggressive cleaning, and I find myself rarely needing it. But the Angel Wax is a gnarly, like ammonia-based
Vision, right?
Yeah, which I like having in the cabinet because it is pretty nasty and can really clean something up if it's nasty. But generally, I'm going to use invisible glass.
Zach says, hey, Matt, every rich person has a bench in their closet. Where's your bench, Matt?
Guess I'm not rich enough. Yeah. What do you need a bench for?
I don't know. Maybe I should put one in my closet.
Be sitting down to put my socks on or something? Is that what you would do?
Weaver Details said, thanks to Kyle and Jeff, I've officially converted to CSL alone and punted the EXO. Yeah, we talked about that last week. So.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
They just cut our sales in half. Let's see. Super Chat. Boring Trucker, $5 US. I just got a 2016 Hellcat with a painted stained black hood. What's the best way to get water spots out of it, or should I just repaint?
Yeah, those probably aren't coming out. I mean, you can't really polish that. It's tough. I think you're screwed.
Yeah, repaint maybe. Mobility Today says, I noticed Pollen loves ceramic coating. It drives me crazy the day after I wash it. So what can I do other than to wash it without scratching?
Nothing. I mean, pollen sticks to everything. So, yeah, you just got to wash it often, or just deal with the fact your car's not going to be super clean for a few months or a month and a half or so.
Well, here's a good question I think you'll enjoy here from Omega Detailing, LV. He has an SPX 3000, one of your favorites, plus an Amazon foam cannon, another one of your favorites, plus a 1.1 millimeter orifice. When he tries using the 1.1 millimeter orifice, the pump shuts off. Is there a way of making it work?
Yeah, throw it away and get a new one. Yeah. Should work. I mean,
it sounds like that ought to work.
Yeah, your machine's overamping itself. There's something wrong. Yeah, make sure you check the orifice. Make sure it's clean and clear, and maybe clean up the filter on your foam cannon.
The filter on the foam cannon.
I mean, your foam, but on a MTM with a SPX 3000, 1.1 is fine. It doesn't overamp the machine at all. So something going on with that foam cannon. Likely the orifice is probably not a real 1.1. It's probably something smaller and causing it to shut off. Or, it'd be unlikely that if your machine would shut off only doing that. I mean, if there was something wrong with it, but it's possible that your SPX 3000 is on the outs.
And then Omega Detailing LV super chatted $4.99 for that. So thanks for that. Stephen Oliver says, Sydney from P&S has a video showing her detail chairs and stools. She has one of those kneeling stools that rolls. So there you go, do a search for that. Jason wants to know, hey, Matt, what's your go-to noise-canceling headphone?
Let's see, Focal has a really great set. Sennheiser, I have the Sennheisers. I forget the model number. And then I've switched to Apple, the Apple whatever they're called. The
AirPod Max.
Yeah, the big yeah. I hate AirPods. I don't know how everybody uses those things. It makes my ears hurt. They fall out of my ears. The noise canceling just makes my brain feel like it's going to explode. So I use the AirPod Max with noise canceling turned off. Even on a plane, it's just it's not good. You can tell it's messing with your sinuses and stuff. I don't like it.
Let's see. We got a fun question here from Greg Hansel, Super Chat, $9.99. Of all the 80s car-based TV shows, what was Matt's favorite? A-Team, Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazzard, Fall Guy?
Does it have to be car-related? Because Airwolf was my favorite.
Well, later down here, somebody mentions Airwolf.
Oh, really?
Helicopter being awesome now.
Yeah, Airwolf, that show, man.
Had a good theme song, too.
I thought that was the coolest thing. It didn't have a lot of episodes, if I remember correctly.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I was a big A-Team guy, for sure. Big Airwolf guy.
I wasn't much of the Fall Guy, but
I don't even know what that is.
I was Lee Majors.
I never even watched that.
Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazzard.
I did watch Knight Rider a lot, and I did watch Dukes of Hazzard.
Miami Vice.
No, I don't think I was allowed to watch that.
There you go. That's a good question there. Jake Angelo says, hey, Chris, I have a question for you. Would you recommend teaching? I'm currently an engineer looking to change things up by getting my master's in middle childhood or high school science. That's a very long answer, Jake. Email me, and we can chat about that. But the short answer is no, I wouldn't recommend teaching for that. Sadly, I wish I could, but I can't. What's the recommended foam cannon orifice when using an active pressure washer?
1.25.
So not the 1.1. Chris.
No, definitely not. Yep. Yeah, 1.25.
All right, couple Instagram questions here from CMAC. Vlog camera recommendation that has an input for a lav mic.
It's one of two. It's either the Sony ZV-1 if you want, pocket size, small. That does have a mic input and also has a hot shoe on top, so you can do it. And then the mic you want if you're going to be doing any kind of vlogging is the Deity. It's a dual mic, so it has a mic on the front and back. It's the only mic. Otherwise, you're going to be muffled every time the camera isn't pointed at you. And if if you want more stable and better, and high quality, you want the Canon R5, which I've transitioned away from the ZV-1. It's just the frustration of hearing the mic chatter, and if I'm going to put a microphone on it, I might as well, you might as well just get a bigger camera. And so the Canon R5 with the RF lens, the 16 to 35 millimeter lens is the one I have on it. It's amazing.
All right, this question, I've read it a couple times. It doesn't make sense to me, but that means it probably makes sense to you. Attention to detail 2020. Is there a guide on the support section for going from an air compressor to the regulator using the stainless flex line rather than the Stowflex hose for the Prevost/Cox hose real solution? Thanks, guys.
If you buy the Alto 3, it's a half-inch line, so you just buy the half-inch connection. Then you may just need to buy a little neck down if if your compressor only has 3/8 out. But it should, like most compressors would, hopefully have a half-inch outlet, and then you would take your Alto 3 and screw it in before you torqued it down to the wall, and then you'd be good to go. So, but no, your answer to that is no. But you can always email support, and they can create the answer for you.
Brand on Build says, "Hey Matt, I have a 1/4-inch acrylic sub box with light scratches. What's the best steps and products in removing them?"
You got to be careful with polishing plastic because you build up a lot of heat. I don't know what I would probably just try to use like Jessica correction compound and a microfiber cutting pad, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't polished plastic a lot. I think CarPro has a plastic polish. Just Google plastic polish. There's some companies that have them, but you're looking for a plastic polish for a machine. And I'm not sure who's the expert on that, which company makes a great product. I've never really, if I've done it, I've always just used regular polishing pads. Try foam first and see if that does it. But just be careful don't let it heat up too much and melt the darn thing.
All right, Bill Pear on Instagram says he really enjoyed the podcast that you did with Adam LZ. Since I'm in the market for steak knives, what is your favorite?
Yaxel Super Gal. It's Yexall, I believe. Super GOU. That's my go-to knife right now. I love them. They're fantastic. I got to learn how to sharpen now.
All right, RGO MZC on Instagram says, "Hey Matt and Chris, what's the protein shake called? Matt always mentions that doesn't taste like fake sugar."
Oh, Progenics.
Yeah, Progenics. I have some in my office right now. It's delicious.
It's real good. It's a little hint of fake sugar taste, but not a lot. I think it's by far the most delicious protein ever.
Million Marcus says, "Hey Matty, how is the Sennheiser soundbar? My mom is not tech savvy and could use a plug-and-play TV sound solution."
It's pretty good. I need to do a firmware update. Maybe that'll solve it. The only thing I find, it doesn't like turn off half the time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's pretty fantastic sounding. It's bulky, big, heavy. It sounds great. It's $2,500, but I'm gonna probably try to get it in the store because I do think it's the best soundbar in existence.
A Tate 88 says, "Hey Matt, have you put your hands on the Active shotgun sprayer? After watching Active's video on it, I'm curious how it's going to compare to the OG Mosmatic."
Yes, I have. It's okay. We had a lot of input in it. I haven't seen any finished prototypes. I saw some prototype stuff. We'll see. We'll see how it comes out.
All right, let's see. "Hey Matt, this is from F Salvioli on Instagram. Do you ever use any type of bug sponge to remove heavier caked on bugs that don't come off during normal rinsing? I sometimes resort to using those generic mesh wrapped sponges, but curious if you have a better product you'd recommend."
Yeah, I don't like doing that. I like to just attack it with a really soft microfiber towel when I'm drying, with spraying lots of drying aid on it. After I've already rinsed off and done the process. But I mean, those things can work, but I don't find them necessary anymore with modern coatings and just maintaining my bumper with maintaining the coating by putting drying aid all the time, and then I'll attack the leftover stuff that doesn't come off and then washing with a microfiber towel and some more drying aid.
Another quick Active question here. This one from Mike Parker. What are your thoughts on the Active 2.0? Are you helping test, and will it be available through OG once it's able to be purchased?
Yep, we'll definitely have it. We haven't seen any prototypes, but I'm sure we'll have one of the production prototypes here at some point, and we'll be all over it. I'm sure. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we've just seen pictures. We haven't actually had one yet. $5 super chat from Tim O'Brien. What OG solution, if any, is best to remove dried tree sap? Tar-X? Something else?
Yeah, 100% Tar-X, because it's pretty safe on your coating and stuff, and it'll melt the sap off real easily. So yes, 100% Tar-X.
And then Skull says Citrol also removes tree sap.
Yeah, I don't think you need to get that aggressive, but yeah, that would.
Let's see. From Facebook, this one's another little confusing, but maybe it'll make sense to you. From Kevin, if you have a split garage, meaning a 2-car and 1-car floor, is your first row of Swiss tracks the common row? From there, you move forward and backwards. Question mark.
I don't think it really matters. I think what he's saying is it's raised up. Yeah, I'd have to see a picture to help him, but generally, I think. I know what he's saying. So the one is in front of the other, right? So one garage door is in front of the other one. This is where it can get tricky. You may need to do patch pieces. You may have to have a cut piece, like if you don't have the exactly one tile. So you would start on the big door, of course. You start on the big door, and then the single door is where you would have to do either start the tile in a little early, or they do have little patch pegs that can allow you to cut it and then cut another tile, because you need a complete tile for your edge pieces, and so you can patch it together. The design guys know how to do that.
Damon wants to know, how difficult would it be to convince Toolgrid to make a larger pegboard? A 36 by 20 board would be perfect custom fit for 2 of my drawers.
Yeah, I don't think they will. They would recommend you just do 2 of them and cut them to fit, which I don't love. But as of right now, I don't think they have any plans to make any other sizes.
Aaron Log on Instagram says, do you have any suggestions for cleaning window screens? Would a foam cannon work? Window screen.
Yeah. He's talking about like screens that in your house, like that you can clip in. Yeah, I think a foam cannon and like a soft bristle brush, even like a tire brush, could help you scrub them and then spray them out. But yeah, I think a foam cannon would work really well for that.
Travis wants to know, what's the Press-All chemical sprayer availability ETA? Which products have you found that actually require the Press-All chemical sprayer?
I think all of them. I just use the chemical only. But the one is anything that's really heavy, basic, so like a tire or wheel and tire cleaner, all-purpose cleaners you certainly would need. But most of the other stuff like drying aids and detail sprays and clay lube and stuff like that, you shouldn't really need them. But I just use it on everything just to be on the safe side.
Philip in the chat says, I'm picking up an F80 comp next week. I'm thinking about an equal length mid pipe, but what rear section would you get to complete the system? Maybe Acra.
Yeah, I don't like anything Acra. You're spending a lot of money for a stock exhaust, basically in titanium. I bought the Remus race for the M2, which you could do the same one on the F80. So I think that's going to be the way to go, is Remus. They do have a new iteration of AWE, I think, for the F80. I never loved the rear sections of that Active makes, so I'd probably either do AWE or Remus.
All right, Nguyen has a question for me. He says, ever since you joined Obsessed Garage, what are some products that you were absolutely sold on and love that the store carries/carried that you wouldn't have owned otherwise? Well, pretty much all of them I wouldn't have owned otherwise, to be real honest with you.
Blender bottle.
Yeah, except blender bottle.
But you already owned those, right?
Yeah. No, pretty much everything, to be real honest with you. Although the biggest thing is probably, sadly, the T-shirts. I've become like a T-shirt snob now. I can't wear anything other than the LA Apparel or the American Apparel, because somebody will get me a shirt now, and that's the first thing I'm like, oh, man, it's going to feel like cardboard.
Your sleeves will be all poking out like the 80s.
Yeah. But otherwise, Nguyen, pretty much everything I bought is pretty awesome, to be real honest with you. I would tell you otherwise. But I have enjoyed learning some of the stuff and using some of the stuff in the store, and it's all pretty good. The Mosmatic gun changed my life, along with using a decent pressure washer, to tell you the truth. Steve wants to know, have you done or will you do a video on cleaning a Swiss Trax floor?
Have I ever done one? If I haven't, I'm sure I will at some point.
I don't think we have. We've done.
I've definitely cleaned them, but I don't know that I've done any videos on it. The guy who has the best videos is Rick. Rick's out at Rad Garage because he's having to do it 3 or 4 times a year.
He's in Canada, right? Got all that junk coming in on it.
Yep.
So no, we haven't done one, Steve, but look at Rad Garage. Here's a question from Greg Hansel. He wonders if you have ever been to a monster truck show. In his eyes, that's the epitome of a white trash event.
Yep. I've been to a few of them, yep.
Nice. Recently?
No. As a kid.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was awesome.
It is pretty awesome. I've been to one way back in the day as well. Maybe we should go again. OG trip to the...
Yeah.
What's it called? Monster or something?
Monster Jam.
Monster Jam, yeah.
Yeah, in the Citrus Bowl.
Randy says, he just wanted to say a big thanks to all the customer support for dealing with my questions and to the crew that pulls and ships my orders. OG in general has made my life way easier. Thanks to all.
Nice.
Stephen Oliver says, buying OG shirts ruined my perspective on tees now as well.
So a little update for you. I'm exploring the idea of buying my own machines and starting to print my own shirts. And I think that we may get that done. We'll see.
Greg Hansel also chimes in, so true on the t-shirts. I refuse to buy merch from anyone else because they're lower quality. Yeah, I can't do it either anymore. Luke McCormick says, hey, Matt, is it time to have a CEO to CEO conversation with the folks at Dine Audio to get a better understanding of what the expectation is regarding delivery of the Music 3s, etc.?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm going to order the Dolly version. Dolly is a PSB, NAD. So Dolly has one that I need to get where it's a Danish company of soft dome tweeters. They have high-end speakers as well. I'm going to get a couple of those to test out and see if that's a viable replacement. The musics are just so darn good. I'm telling you. I listen to mine all the time in the kitchen, and that little Music One. I don't know. They're trying to get them done.
We shouldn't have made them so popular. Now just can't get them.
Yeah, I mean, how many do we have? Like 50 people waiting for them or something like that?
And it's been
a long time.
Months. Yeah. Let's see. Steven says he'd love to see an OG vlog from the Monster Truck Show. Greg said he went to see them as well. Saw Bigfoot crush its first car in the Silverdome in 1985. Nice. That's where WrestleMania was.
It sounds about the same time that the Silverdome, was that in Detroit? Yeah.
Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah.
A great event. Yeah, that's awesome. Omega Detailing says he's a big fan of you guys. Griot's Boss or MTM phone cannon? ?
I haven't played with the latest version, but supposedly it's pretty good. The Griot's version. I'm not sure. I have all these supporting like that they don't have with the funnel and the quick disconnect. It would make me hard pressed to move away. But I know lots of people like the new Griot's version. They've worked on that for many years.
Steve wants to know, did he miss a video on the Milwaukee Polisher, or is it just yet to be released?
Yeah, I mean, we just got it, and I couldn't make videos using the prototypes and an NDA on that. So it's I'll have some soon. I'm going to be polishing lots of cars.
All right, Dylan has a good question for you. He said, Matt, did you hear Bryce on the last live chat last week? He said his favorite soap is McGuire's Gold Glass. Unreal.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing.
That was one question that we asked pretty much everyone. What's one product that you use that either isn't in the OG store or will never be in the OG store or something along
that
those
would
lines?
be one, yeah.
Hello, Matt. This is from Yeserski. Hope all is well. Deciding on ceramic coating my F80 Yaz Marina Blue. There's two good shops out here. One offers Ceramic Pro and other G-Technic. Which would you recommend?
No, G-Technic 100%. Yep.
I am Daniel Max says, when are we going to see more OG on TikTok? Tired of seeing these baby hand wannabes using chemical guys claiming they're the best at cleaning a car.
Oh boy. Yeah. I don't know.
I think he's working on getting a TikTok set up. If it's not
I
already.
had one, and we can't. We're the Chinese locked us out or something.
Out of it.
Yeah.
James wants to know: does Swiss Trax make a rubberized flooring?
They did, but no longer. Yeah, they discontinued it because of, I guess, difficulty in getting it and pricing and stuff. But yeah, not anymore.
All right. What is the next wash and chat? Which car is getting the treatment?
I don't know. I gotta wash some cars though.
Are they all due?
Yep. It's bad.
But your closet looks good.
It does.
Closet's
And my lights look good.
Yep.
And my yard looks good. And my driveway looks good. We got to get a house update for you. The M2 parts and pieces have been put on. I put on lots of parts and pieces on the M3. I finally got the wheels mounted and balanced. The signature wheels for the GT4, which look great. I'm really surprisingly great. So I've a lot of backlog projects. Mike's finishing up the Prevost here in Yarn, so we'll hopefully at some point I'll be looking for something to do, which is why I'm going to go up and create chaos in that I'm going to the mountains because we're finishing up the project here on this, the interim house, which I'm starting to think maybe that I just make the interim house a little bit longer version. Maybe make it a midterm house or something like that. And not the thing that worries me about building a mansion here is that getting stuff done and having prices just run rampant on you. And that I'm just not prepared for that mentally and monetarily to be able to weather the storm of having floating a note. And then I just envision, you're 15 weeks in, and then there's a 20-week delay on the next thing, and it holds the whole thing up, and you're just floating money, just shelling out cash. I just am not prepared for that. And so I think I'm going to change my game plan. The game plan was to build the house here and then go start, properties in the mountains. I think I'm going to do the mountains now. And so I'm going up, and the other thing that's kind of got me motivated is there's a bunch of homes that we kind of put on the market, in the last month. That's this is the time of year for that. So Michelle and I are going up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, and I need another muse to put all this stuff in, build a garage, do some detailing up there, do some driving. It'll be I think it'll be really neat to have like a old school obsessed garage feel just in a house in the mountains. I think it's going to be really cool. So I think people will enjoy that. So that's if I find a house, and there's a couple that I'm really close on that I think I might end up buying one of them this weekend or next week.
So next week you won't be here for the podcast.
Right.
So now we need those of you in the chat. Please chime in. What are some ideas if we're going to do something again while Matt's gone? Last week worked out really well, I think. We kind of rotated through the staff and got to know them a little better. People enjoyed it. It went pretty long, too. It was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it was good. But if there are any other ideas, float them out there so we can steal your idea. Jeremy wants to know, for a weekend-driven Hellcat Red Eye, would you prefer Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's or Cup 2s?
I like Cup 2s. Despite the drawbacks, I max performance, they're pretty awesome.
Yes, Sirski, when will the new tire shine brush be back in stock? I'm not sure about that. Check our out of stock page on the web page. It'll tell you more about that. Here's a good question for you and me from Morgan. Hey, Chris, I heard you mention WrestleMania. What is your and Matt's favorite wrestler? Can I go back to the...
I don't know.
That's a great question.
Ultimate Warrior.
I was going to say, back in the day, I was a big fan of the Ultimate Warrior, way back in the day.
Yeah, I was a Hulk Hogan fan, too.
Yeah. I really like the $1 Million Man, actually, Ted DiBiase. I don't know why.
No, I don't like that.
Ric Flair, Arn Anderson.
Definitely hated Ric Flair.
Oh, man.
Ric Flair is just not...
Yeah,
he's just a regular guy. He's not anything special. Just a regular alcoholic. psychopath, you know.
Oh.
I always liked the winner, you know. Like I like LeBron James and Michael Jordan, you know. So the Hulk Hogan that attracted me. The Ultimate Warrior was awesome.
Oh yeah, I still love his entrance music. And he comes running down the ring like 100 miles an hour and clotheslines somebody one time and then covers him for the win.
Yeah.
Oh man, the good old days. Mm-hmm. Zach wants to know, hey Matt, would you ever own an Alpina?
No, those
BMW?
are for like dorky old men.
Or a Shelby Raptor?
No.
All right.
I don't think so.
Any plans to use drone footage for the new Wash and Drive series?
No. Drones are for babies.
Hey, Matt, what do you do to your Incredipads after a wash? Straight to the washer dryer or something else?
Yep, straight to the washer, and I dry them with the microfiber towels.
Do you have any interest in a premium race car simulator setup?
None. Zero. Negative reason. Negative interest.
What are the requirements going to be for the Wash and Drive series? No hoopties? ?
I don't know. We'll see.
Do we have any lined up yet? Are you doing any employee cars? Or
I'll do all mine, do all theirs, and then we'll start to branch out.
Gotcha.
So that's the plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Steven says, I think I already know, but to end a reciprocal Facebook group debate, was OG founded on being more pricey from the start, or was the original goal quality and higher expense just came with the territory?
Yeah. That's a stupid question.
I knew you'd like that one.
Why would anybody ask that? That's the dumbest thing ever. There's such insecure dum-dums that would even ask that question. I'd rather have everything for free. Let's just make everything free. It'd be great. But the world doesn't frickin' work that way. I don't give a crap about what something costs. The only reason anybody would care about having something cost a lot if they're trying to show off because they're insecure. I don't give a crap about what the perception is of something I'm using. I just want it. If I want it because I find it interesting. Things that cost more generally are better. It's just the way it works. This microphone stand is better than a cheap one. So that's just how things are done. And it costs more to manufacture. They're better components, better parts and pieces. But I don't like McLarens and I don't like Rolls Royces. I like BMWs, So that argument of it just has to be expensive is nonsense. It makes no sense to me. I just want it to be good. And sometimes being good costs some money.
Now, you mentioned this several times, but you like things that are built to a standard and not to a price point.
Yeah.
Just build it and then price it afterwards once you figure out how much it costs.
Most everything is built to. You have to draw a line somewhere, right? So, but you have to make some trade-off discussions. Otherwise everything would be $5 million. But like we're making those discussions or having those discussions, making those decisions when we're doing our Deionizer system. Like how far do you want to get with this? Because you got to draw a line somewhere. But you build it to what you would want it to be, within reason. Using some simple deductive reasoning on what I want would cost $4,800, which isn't practical. We need to make it $1,500. So that would make more sense to me. It would be great if it was $600, but I don't think we can get it done for that. And so you build to what it needs to be within reason, and that's the way the world, and at least my world, works. It's the way I'm running my life. And that's when I say, regular people aren't afflicted with that pursuit. They just don't care. So, and the vast majority of people are just, living normal lives where they're not focused on that. Hopefully they're focused on something else. But in general, I'm not really worried about what things cost. It's just figuring out what it needs to be.
My WRX channel says, would you consider the M2 CS an upgrade over the M3/M4 CS?
Well, I haven't driven the M2 or M3, M4. I don't know. Probably not. It's all the same parts and pieces, though. The brakes are the same. The wheels are similar. The interior's the same. It's just a preference thing. So I think that they're both, I'd say they're more equal than anything.
Adam wants to know, Hey, Matt, do you think the Milwaukee polisher is a replacement for the XFE 15150?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, the XFE is way smoother, but it's right on the edge of not as useful because it just doesn't have a lot of output.
Let's see. Hey, guys, what is a good product to use to defeat oxidized headlights?
To make sure it doesn't happen, I mean, you just put 1, never polish them. 2, stop rubbing on them. And 3, just coat them with whatever you're coating the paint with. Because once it happens, it's over. You got to sand it off, and then you're going to be sanding them all the time unless you re-clear them.
All right, Omega Detailing LV wants to know what of our favorite dream cars. His is the 72 Chevelle SS 454.
997.2 GT3 RS 4.0 is mine.
I don't know what mine is. I do miss my Jeep. I want to get another Jeep, but I guess that's not really a dream car. But
yeah.
I miss driving the Jeep around with the top down.
That's low standards, Chris.
I'll get another one soon.
Really low standards.
Yeah.
Slow.
Yep.
Terrible, like everything.
Yeah.
Terrible fuel
Not practical.
economy.
Yeah.
It's, your seating position is terrible. The horrible radio. There's nothing good about that thing.
You can see Matt and I share a lot in common.
Mediocre off-road. It's like, what is the point?
Oh, man. Although I have to say, when I rode with you at the track in your car, I was like, man, this would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. But I'd rather have like 37 Jeeps than one of those.
This is pretty nice. Yeah, that's not a good requisite for spending a couple $100,000. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty nice. I don't think I'd want to own one, but it would be fun to drive sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
A lot of responsibility that comes with that kind of thing,
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I am Daniel Mack says, whatever happened with a Porsche on Matt's last trip that got hit in the parking lot? Your Turo experience.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything got fixed. They, the lady's insurance covered it, and so I think I had to pay like a $500 deposit or something like that. They credited back, but the lady's insurance covered it, and it was fine. But I'm doing a Turo here this week, and I bought the insurance this time, so that way I can just yeah, I felt so bad. I mean, I take it, when you borrow somebody something, you return it better than you got it. And I returned it damaged. It's frustrating as heck. Some idiot had to back into it in a giant parking lot. Like, I don't even know how it's possible.
What did you rent this time?
An M4.
Okay.
The best thing I could find. It's a 2021 M4 comp.
All right, let's see. We have now people. I'm getting down in the chat here where people are talking about next week's podcast. Brad says last week was great. Good. Bradley says put Michelle in the hot seat. She's been on before.
Well, she's going with me, so that can't.
Oh yeah, that won't work.
Yeah,
she's been on before. If you do a little search, we got a lot of positive feedback on that one. Jeremy says let's get mom and dad on the podcast. They can tell us some of the back in the day stories of Maddie. I think your mom would rather die than be on the podcast. But, and then we have some, now other people are naming their favorite wrestlers. Macho Man, good choice. Randy Savage. Andre the Giant. Ivan Putski. Whoa, going way back here. Jeremy says, does Vince McMahon's intro play when Matt walks into OGHQ? No, that'd be pretty good, though. Steven, I'd like to see a family member do a podcast. After all, OG is very much a family company. It would be nice to hear throwback stories or even some of the funny ones. What's up with Matt's dad? Haven't seen him in video in a long time.
He was on Inside the Hex here recently. Yeah, he's up at Curated and up in the building up north.
Let's see. Hey, Matt, do you like any classic cars or older sports cars?
Not really. Yeah, I don't like this stinky stuff. My classic car is a 96 M3, which is now a 25-year-old car.
Yeah, that's getting to be classic.
No, yeah, I don't really have any interest in that kind of stuff.
Ooh, B.W. Williams, his favorite wrestler was George the Animal Steel. Remember him? He would like chew on the turnbuckle.
I liked Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, yeah, Hacksaw.
When he would come in with a 2x4, a 4x4.
Yeah, it started chanting USA for no reason. Oh, man. Let's see. Hey, Matt, do you use a dedicated washing machine to wash your towels to keep from contaminating your family machine?
No, but you probably should if you could. I'm going to do that at some point, but I don't have room in this house.
All right. Do you guys have any plans to do an OG version of the Viper Chair Low Pro, blue with a hex on top? Robert says, hello from Oregon. Any plans to carry the tape dispenser that Matt recommended to LHT Performance? I remember that.
Yeah, the Better Pack, the 555E. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get into warehousing products. But who knows? Maybe someday if we get really good at warehousing.
Omega Detailing LV says, would a water softener help a deionizer last longer?
I always thought so, but I've read some data that is contrary to that it's actually harder on resin. But because of the charge, you're removing some of the charge to some of the minerals by softening, and so that in turn makes the DI work harder, if you will, and make you go through resin quicker. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I guess I could understand it. But we're going to chase all that stuff here when we start testing out our prototypes.
And now we have some chatter here about my wanting a Jeep. Wind in my hair, yes. I love the wind blowing through my hair.
You know what you can do? Open your freaking windows in your awesome sports car.
Greg says, Chris has some mid-level standards. Easy there, Greg. You give me too much credit. Nope. Ken Jeeper says, a Hemi Jeep for Chris. I don't know if I'd like that or not. Would Matt consider the upcoming manual transmission Supra?
No, because I have the M2. I think the Supra's been supplanted. I'm already bored with the M2, though. Maybe we should move the giveaway up to June. Can we do it in June?
No.
Want me to send Bryce off the deep end?
No. October is October. Let's see. Speaking of Inside the Hex, I need to get in on that finally. Yes, you do. The good thing about that is kind of like when you discover a new show on Netflix that's like 8 seasons long. Then you have 8 seasons to work your way through. So if you're just now joining Inside the Hex, you have
300 videos.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos to get through. So I guess that's one good thing about waiting this long. Let's see. More favorite wrestlers being named here. Junkyard Dog. He was great. He had the chain around his neck. Sergeant Slaughter. Way back in the day. Let's see. Lots of Viper Chair talk here. Agree on the Viper Chair Low Pro. That would be nice. Have you tried CarPro Essence Plus? Jason wants to know. I'm trying to rejuvenate my ceramic coating after 1 year.
I have. I don't like it. I mean, maybe it's improved, but I feel like it's kind of nonsense.
Jeremy wants to know, have you tried C2V3? And if so, what do you think about it?
I have, but our drying aid's better. It's too smeary, and it's okay. I just think that our drying aid is much better.
Steve L. chiming in. This is his weekly request for protective boot for the OG Spec gun. Noted, Steve. Here we go. What's the next big thing coming to the OG store?
Egos. Ego blower and the Milwaukee packages. Yeah, and SVS. Lots of videos coming up on products.
Those two pallets haven't even been touched yet.
People are going to get real mad.
Can't believe you haven't gotten into the
I'm trying to clean out so I have room to do it. Gotcha. I just rented a 10x10 air-conditioned storage unit for all my car parts. Seats and wheels and all that stuff. All the OE parts and extra parts and all that. So we're going to get it out of here and get it in its own little home for now.
Let's see. So thanks, Steve. We noted that. Culligan told me that DI through a water softener first will use up the resin faster.
That's what I've been hearing. Didn't make sense, but yeah, I think it has something to do with the charge, the static charge removal of the softened water. I'm going to do some research on that.
Dylan wants to know, hey Matt, did you like the Civic Del Sol? I've always liked them.
No, I always hated them.
So those are that ugly little car, right? I remember.
Yeah. I just always thought it was kind of weird looking.
I have to look it up here.
Yeah.
Dave says Inside the Hex is legit. He recently joined. Thanks, Dave. Jeremy, how many Ego stubbies have been returned because of Stubbygate? Well, last week, Brad told us there have been 2. I think there were maybe 1 or 2 more this week, but honestly, I don't think it's any more than that.
Yeah.
Let's see. OG Drying Aid really is the best. It blew me away how much better it is than what I've used in the past. Excellent. We've been selling a ton of that lately. I guess it's that time of year. SVS subs, Brad wants to know. Really looking into getting a pair.
Yep, I'm working on it. I got every single one they make, and various colors and finishes, so we can gauge that, and then we'll figure out which ones I'm going to carry specifically.
Skull says the OG Stubby won't fit his Ego mower, and he's not very happy about that. You just got to squeeze it on there, Skull.
The sad news, the Ego people was very explicit that I'm not allowed to sell mowers or trimmers. So dang, sad.
That's interesting.
Where before, remember, it was you have to sell mowers and trimmers in order to do this. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So now I'm like, oh, shoot. I really wanted to sell those mowers and trimmers.
That's funny.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm so pumped. The only problem is everyone already bought one.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I get freaking screwed.
They sold 1,500 Stubbies.
And the other thing that sucks is that we're going to kill it with these things, and then they're going to let all these other douchebag, useless, retailers get in there and sell them too. It stinks. So they better not.
Out of all the ones you've ordered, which one is your favorite?
The 580.
So not because there's a couple after that, like higher than that, right?
Yeah, the 650 and the 745 or whatever. Yeah, I like the 580 is my favorite.
Those other two, are those the shrill?
No, the 650 is the shrill one. The 615 is not shrill, but I'm going to spend some time with the newest ones. I just got them, but I can tell almost immediately I still like the 580 the most.
Ken Jeeper wants to know, how is the other business coming, the one that your dad is running?
Good, I think. I mean, we're garden hose is coming, so that'll free us up there, and then we've got to get to bottling press-alls and stuff like that. So I'm working on it.
Let's see. Big ol' SVS 15s. My wife will hate me, says Brad. Yeah, I think we definitely have some of those. There's, like you said,
they don't have a 15; they have a 16.
Oh, a 16.
Even better. Even hack her off even more.
Alex says, how many times can you clay with the auto scrub pad and sponge?
Hundreds of times. Yeah. Many, many, many times.
MPSTI05 wants to know, what was the Destination OG house scent?
Yeah, I love it, but it doesn't seem to really work very well. It's called Anti-Pharmacista.
Antica?
Yeah, Antica Pharmacista. And it's called Tarmac. It's fantastic, but my house doesn't smell like it. I don't know. I've got like 6 of them in there, and it smells like you'll get a little whiff of it occasionally, but I swear maybe they just had a lot more of it, and maybe they had some atomizers or something at that house in the mountains. But that's the scent. I got to figure out a way to.
I wasn't even going to tell you, but I bought one too, the diffuser and everything.
Yeah,
and same thing. Like if I walk by at just the right time and the wind hits just right.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
and I even moved it to a smaller room, hoping.
Yeah, and you flip it over every day, twice a day.
Yep.
And it just doesn't atomize. I don't understand it because that's the stuff they had at that place.
It does smell good when you smell it, but it doesn't always smell. So maybe that can be our next project. Figure out how to make sense last. Let's see. Did you settle on a name, Matt Duffy wants to know, for the closet solution?
No. I need to come up with one still.
Thanks for mentioning CarPro Deluxe. I ordered a couple of bottles, and it seems more durable than the CSL when it comes to wheels.
It definitely is on wheels. Yep.
John Walter says, I will buy a new Ego blower from you. It's awesome you're getting them. I've used my 530 before. I found OG 5 years ago.
Sweet. Thanks.
Let's see. Has Matt used Undressed by P&S yet? I love it.
I don't think so.
What is that?
I don't know.
Let's see. Daily DIY Dude says, hey, Matt, I don't hear much about dry ice anymore. Is that something you still recommend?
Yes. I'm finally getting set up with all my airlines and stuff so I can start doing some more dry ice stuff.
Then it's a matter of actually getting your hands on the dry ice. That can be a problem. Dylan Charlton said, it's probably like JDM squash. You probably get used to the smell.
No, because we have people come into the house and they don't smell it. I wish.
All right, Nathan wants to know, what's the next big item for the home items that you're chasing? So you got lighting.
Grills. Heston. Grills and hoods. Working on that one.
All right, Randy says, had the wife watch most of the closet build videos, and she's sold. Do you have any ETA on availability? We're looking at building a home our next home early 2023.
We'll definitely have it then, or a full suite of colors. Right now you can do it. It's just you have to get a dark brown or like like it's called linen or something like that, where it's like a really cool finish, but it's dark gray and maybe too dark.
So what are yours?
Mine is I don't know what it's called, but some sort of silver finish, and then the other is like a silver white. But I bought like all they had, and they're importing it from Italy, and obviously that's an issue, and so they have a new supplier that makes a product that's instead of 31/32, so it's an inch thick, it's an inch and an eighth, so it's a little bit thicker. And they're also going to have a 3/4 inch version as well to keep costs down for some people. But the fit and finish is going to be as good or better. They're telling me. I said, don't do this to me. Finally found something great. Don't mess it up. So we're gonna figure it out here soon.
Dentist on Demand online consultation wants to know, when is the touring coming?
I don't know. Yeah, I just like kind of purposely don't think about it. It comes when it comes.
GR wants to know, did you ever use Dream Maker?
No, I haven't.
All right, and then Alex tells us that Undressed is a tire cleaner. Removes oil dressings and browning, similar to Breakbuster, but better.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. Or at least if I have, I haven't in a while.
So there's Dream Maker.
I had all their stuff at once. Now, Dream Maker's a new product.
Gotcha. All right, we'll get back to that. Jeremy Hudson wants to know, have you ever regretted selling any of your vehicles?
No. Nope. It's always been right time, right place. And I don't really have much regret for items, products and things like that.
Skull chimes in here and says, Breakbuster is more versatile than Undressed from P&S, but Undressed is more powerful on tires for sure.
I just don't find anything necessary to have anything really more aggressive unless, I've got something fresh. And that's when I'm using Wise Guy from Shine Supply or Stoner's Terminator.
All right, Greg suggests having Mike F on next week. Let's see. We've had him on before too, but he did really good. That would be fun. And then he also wants to know, how does the closet solutions work when it comes to pricing? Is it per square foot? How does that work?
I think so. I think that's how they price it to me. I mean, we're just going to make it pretty transparent. There'll be a cost plus plus our margin, whatever. There'll be a multiplier, whatever they call it. So what I would like to do is go and add up my closets but yeah, I think that's how all the cabinet people do it, is price per linear foot. But I mean, that doesn't mean anything to me, So because you got material that's vertical and horizontal and shelves and all of that stuff. So unless you're going to measure every square inch of it, it's kind of hard to do. So I want to give people an idea, like here's an average size closet. Here's roughly what it would cost. And the trickiest part is going to be, you're really not going to want to do like one thing, because it's going to be like $1,500 to ship it, no matter if you do one closet or you do four. So the shipping cost is going to be sort of cost prohibitive, because if you do one closet, it's going to cost you $2,800 to do, or $3,000 to do, and you're going to have $1,800 shipping fee. That doesn't really help you very much. Even still, though, it'd probably be 50% less than most of the closet goofs.
Where is it shipping from?
From Miami.
Okay. Let's see. Brando says, I got the Alpha P5s from you. They are great. Far too balanced and smooth for what they cost.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible. And it feels real cheap when you open it up, but then you set them and don't touch them and look and just listen to them. They're fantastic. Those are the PSB. Their entry level speakers are awesome.
Tom Remeyer says, hi Matt, how are you doing when it comes to driving? Are you able to do some driving again?
A little bit, yeah, but I'm still kind of confined, but I'm improving. It seems like weekly, which is good, and that's why I'm excited to go to the mountains and see if I can go out without panic. Deagle456
wants to know, hey Matt, what kind of camera was used to shoot the Chronicles of a Master series?
That's the red Komodo. The little baby red. That's what we used.
It's fancy. P&S Undressed here. Penetrates and removes layers of road dirt, oil, and grime from the tire surface to brighten raised white lettering, your favorite, and white walls. Alkaline cleaning solutions, water-based solvents, and detergents make Undressed the best preparation for cleaning tires prior to dressing. Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't tried it.
All right. Our buddy Nick, OG Zone Nick, is checking in from Louisiana. He's off today back home visiting family. He says, happy Friday from Louisiana.
Oh, cool.
Nick, go talk to your family. Leave us alone. Morgan, would local pickup be an option for the closet systems to alleviate the shipping cost?
Yeah, in Miami. Yeah, you can pick it up. Now, they also have a factory in North Carolina, so I'm not sure where they're going to be producing these the most. So we'll see. I mean, we're going to add a whole new dimension to their, their closet. Like, we're going to triple or quadruple what they were doing, like, ever, like, all time. So, we may, but yeah, you can definitely do that, or we can do like a cost less if we pick it up at the terminal, But yeah, because it won't have to be crated, it won't have to be shipped. It's going to save you thousands of dollars, especially if you're doing a lot of stuff. So like if I would have gone to Miami and picked mine up, I think my shipping was like $2,300, something like that. So it would have saved me, $2,300.
And that's this is a 6-hour trip, Miami to Ocala. So
yep.
If you're way, way far away, it's going to get expensive.
But it was an entire 24-foot truckload of stuff for my house.
Let's see. Skull has a recommendation. He says, for your house scent, Dr. Squatch Bay Rum candles are killer. Not too expensive either. So look them up. That's what that looks like. That's interesting. Crackling wooden wick. $18 a piece for a candle. I may have to give that one a try.
I don't really like candles. It's too much unnecessary risk to me. You light something on fire, forget about it, burns your house down.
Let's see here. Jeremy wants to know, will we ever see Matt tackling a disaster detail?
Never. It's so stupid. First of all, why does anybody care about that? Why do they want to watch it? And then why would you want to do that? Then it's nonsense. Like, they show the car like 15 feet away. They don't show you how. They're like, look how amazing this looks. No, it still looks terrible. It's just clean. It's clean junk. It's clean rusted. Let's find this thing in a barn and it hasn't been washed in 20 years, and they do all this work on it. It still looks terrible. But everybody thinks it looks great because they show it to you, 12 feet away, but everything's still rusted out and garbage. It's just not dirty.
There's no mice anymore.
like that's a real improvement. Yay. Good for you. You didn't paint anything. To me, if you're going to find something in a barn, you've got to strip it, Bondo it, fix it, restore it, repaint it, put it on a rotisserie, take it all apart, buy all new stuff. No one's doing that. They're just washing it and pretending like it's, and then running a polisher, which all the polishers do, is just pulling some of the dirt off of it, the embedded dirt. And then they show it to you from 19 feet away on camera in any car. Like, I shot a whole bunch of photos of my dirty GT4, and it looks beautiful, on camera. It looks perfect. Like, it had like a layer of like pollen on it, dust on it. And I'm like, I don't even need to go wash it right now, because I want to wash it after I take photos of it. Because unless you're, you're right up on it, you can't tell. Even then, you can't tell. So you will never in a million years, that's a guarantee. I will never do that. Stupid.
Let's see. From my WRX channel, would love to see Mike F back on the podcast. All right, that's another vote for Mike F. Have you shared your thoughts on the manual Super yet? Yeah, we discussed that a little earlier, Johannes. Kevin says, I finally tried GSF after a few gallons of Adams shampoo. A great upgrade. While the unit cost is higher, my per wash price is actually lower because of the concentration. Hashtag legit.
Yeah, it's good. Really good.
Morgan says Detail Geek in Canada does those constantly when it comes to those videos.
Yeah, it's nonsense. The guy has a job where he's cleaning up puke. He's doing it for the money. It's stupid. I mean, not stupid, but it's got to suck to do that. There's no way he likes doing that. I mean, he's just doing it because it works, and he gets to live a great life, and then disappear otherwise. He makes a video every 3 weeks, and it gets 12 million views because people are idiots and they want to watch stupid stuff. So he's pandering to he's got a job now pandering to idiots, and that's unfortunately that's the way the world works, I guess. But I mean, I'm not doing that.
Yes, our buddy Larry from Ammo does the barn finds as well.
Yeah, he's doing it to make money off you people, so which is fine. I mean, that's a business. I mean, that's what most businesses. I'm just so fortunate I get to make money doing what I would have otherwise been doing. But I have no interest in watching any of that crap because it's not real. If they showed you the real, hey, we're just cleaning up the mice, and then, it's still junk. It's like I just don't like how they make it out to be like it's now this perfect vehicle. No, it's garbage. It's garbage in, garbage out, just without the dirt.
It still doesn't run. Porchy01 on Instagram says, "Hey guys, will there be a video on the Slightly Douche Raptor caliper detail / paint?"
No.
All right. And he also wants to know, "Hey Matt, what made you choose the Liftmaster 8500W over the others, specifically the Genie?"
Well, the Genie's just the cheap version. It's the consumer version. So the Liftmaster's their flagship version, which is kind of hard to believe because that thing isn't great. It's okay. They seem to be more problematic than a normal garage door opener. I keep having to fumble with the thing. But, yeah, it's the best one, so that's why you'd want that. It's the highest output unless you go to a commercial version.
Let's see here from Jason. "Hey guys, do you have any plans to sell the press-all bottles with an industrial sprayer? I like the translucent bottles, but I only see them sold with a household sprayer."
Yep, it's on the short list. Getting through Milwaukee, gonna get Ego up, gonna get our Hayfala and DMF and Destination OG stuff rolling, Cree, and then we'll start to get into that.
We also just have to get the product here. It's kind of a pain getting press-all sometimes.
Do we sell all of it already?
Mm-hmm.
All of it?
Well, no.
Okay.
But what they're looking for.
Gotcha.
And we have another order in, but it's, of course, somewhere between here and Germany. But we are going to air freight in some of the sprayers because we need a lot of those. Morgan says, "I think Chris doing a disaster cleanup would be a good watch." No, that wouldn't. That wouldn't be good at all. It would be fun to watch. It wouldn't be fun to do. Larry at least gets the garbage to a point where it isn't hazardous to start a restoration.
Why would it be hazardous if it's dirty?
It's pretty.
What's hazardous about a dirty car? Nothing.
Skull says, "I have an 1893 steam wagon, never been washed, kept in a nice damp locker. I think Matt should detail."
I will just light the whole building on fire.
Oh, man. All right.
What's hazardous about an old stinky car?
I don't know. Maybe whoever that is. Chris will tell us.
Yeah. No.
Taji wants your opinion here. 2009 E92 M3. 110,000 miles.
Yep.
For $21,000. Worth getting, ?
No. You spend $50,000 and get one that actually works. No, that car's going to be ragged out and junk. I wouldn't. I have no interest in that. I'd rather not have the car. I'd rather have a BRZ that has 20,000 miles on it that's nice. Because that seat's going to be all jacked up. The engine very likely it's had 9 owners and it's going to have potential problems, and you're going to be fixing. You're going to have deep pockets to fix that thing because you're going to be replacing all kinds of stuff.
Let's see. Ooh, Randy. I like Randy's idea better. Rather than me cleaning the car, he says, "How about Chris creating the disaster for the video?" There we go. Just driving around eating cheeseburgers in it.
Yeah, there's no disaster in my future ever.
Oh man.
Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an amazing house that I can just make better. I'm not looking for some stink shack, that I can remove the hazardous material from it. No, I'm not doing that. Why would anybody want to do that? It's crazy. Like, you would do it because you're doing it because you have to. But you wouldn't do it because you want to. So I'm not doing that. It's crazy.
Couple more here, then we'll call today. We're at 3:27 here. Justin says, "Hey Matt, I know you have the high torque gun for the Porsche wheels, but have you ever looked into small torque multipliers?"
Yeah, they're not very accurate. If you have accurate, think about this, the multiplication of inaccuracy is even more inaccuracy. So why would I need that when I've got the high torque? It's freaking perfect. You see those goofs at JCR pretending like they discovered something. They posted on Instagram that they're now going to try to sell it. And those idiots, I told High Torque, this is how it's going to go. You guys are going to be too stupid to recognize when you've got a copier that just copies everybody, and you're going to, yeah, let's do it. And they're going to sell you some sizzle, and then you're going to be selling it to them. They provide no value other than that, they just get to do it too.
Won't be the last time, sadly. Rat infestation, rat poo. Larry got sick after cleaning a plane full of bird poop. What? Oh, that sounds good. What issues, if any, is Matt having with his Liftmaster garage door opener?
What do you mean you're going to inhale rat? Are you going to stick your nose and snort it? There's no asbestos in cars. That's in houses and buildings. That's nonsense. Just because you can't handle a little stink, doesn't mean it's hazardous. You just freaking get in there and clean it out. Yeah, I used to, be a janitor. You just go in, just scoop the poop off the floor, move on.
Ben Finner wants to know, are there any updates on the floor jack extravaganza?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yes, there are.
We ordered them. Let's be here soon. Fan-frickin-tastic. $2,000. But that's just what it costs, That's what they cost. You want to be more like a NASCAR boy like me? That's what you got to pay. So, yeah, they're awesome.
All right, Jim P, says, hey, Matt, how about doing a session on tonneau covers for trucks? Deep cleaning, rejuvenating, and protecting.
Yeah, throw that thing away and get like a hard cover, and you don't have to do anything. You just coat it once. Yeah, I'm not your guy for that.
All right, so next week, Matt will be gone. We got your ideas written down here.
I'm going to look for a disaster. What I'm really doing is going to look for a barn find, a disaster detail. I'm going to be either looking for a barn find that is a disaster detail, right? So it's a mom that left a Dodge Caravan, Woody Dodge Caravan from 87 in a barn with McDonald's wrappers and vomit. And then, do I get double the views then if you do a disaster detail barn find? Is that like a double awesome? You got to get gum off the carpet and all that stuff.
There's only one way to find out.
Disaster detail barn find.
There we go.
DDBF. It's called the DDBF channel. And then I'm going to get all the views. And we get all the YouTube monies, and then I'm going to have to just keep doing that forever. Yeah, no thanks.
Awesome.
Not interested.
All right, so thank you all for joining us. Thank you for the questions, for the suggestions for next week, and perhaps we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see ya.